Ever wondered how some Magic the Gathering players get to Mythic so much easier than you do every month, fighting decks with 250 cards and people who are so far from the meta? Well, there might be just one trick that you don't know about that they're using. Welcome to Snack Play Love, if you've not been here before. We don't do many Magic videos anymore, but maybe we should. Last month I got to Mythic and the reset happened yesterday. So now I've been taken back down to Platinum Tier 4. If you are Mythic when the season finishes, the place you drop to is Platinum Tier 4, which is important for this neat little trick. You see, Tier 4 is the lowest you can go. You don't lose that Platinum badge until the start of the next month. So if you lose matches in Platinum, that little tick will disappear, and then you will stay there at the bottom of Platinum Tier 4. That isn't useful, you're saying, but it is, because there are two rankings. The first ranking is the one that we talk about, the Platinum to Mythic, which is where people can see all the rewards. You may not be able to see the rewards. Where for getting to Mythic, you get 5 packs, 1,000 gold and 2 card styles. As long as you get to Platinum, you get those 2 card styles. So if that's all you're interested in, then don't worry about it. Carry on playing as you are. Goodbye. But if you want to get to Mythic, just to brag that you got to Mythic, because after all, the extra pack is probably not worth the effort, then you can do it. You can just choose to get to Mythic. And the technique relies on the fact that, as well as this visible ranking, you also have a hidden match rating. The match rating doesn't get reset when you move from month to month. So if you are being matched against decks of a certain standard in August, then in September you will be matched against the same standard, and so on and so forth. So what I've been doing is playing Fundex, which I enjoy playing, instead of playing meta tier decks. So I don't have to craft anything I don't want to craft. I don't have to play cards I don't want to play. I don't even have to factor in the metagame. I just play decks that I enjoy playing. Now, to set this up, way back when I first found out that this existed, I simply conceded a whole bunch of matches. I probably wouldn't do that now, knowing what I know, but I was curious as to whether it actually worked. You see, when you lose, your hidden match rating goes down and your visible ranking also goes down. But if you've gone down all the way to level 4 at the bottom of the ranking, as you can see in the icons, then you can't actually go any lower, but your hidden match ranking can, and that continues to go down. Let's just cycle this. I'm just going to play this idly in the background so we've got something to watch while we talk. I haven't got something that costs 3, so I'll just put this in. This is a fun little spells deck that is based on something Mono Black Magic played. I'm not quite sure what the opponent's playing, but we'll see. Oh no, he's destroying my land that does nothing. I get an island. So, I'm expecting to lose this match. I'm deliberately going to lose this match, in fact. But you don't have to deliberately lose matches to get to your ideal match rating. So, we've got commit open, so we'll sit on that. So what happens is that essentially you get to a point where you can no longer go down any further, and you will be against people with decks, 90 cards, that possibly aren't the best Magic players and deck builders in the world, but they're having fun, and I'm having fun. So this is the level I wish to be at. If you actually want to get the rewards for being at the top of Mythic and qualifying and getting into the tournaments and things, which is about 1,500 players, then don't do this. Do not tank your ranking. That is a very bad idea. But for people like me, it's actually quite fun. Let's just swing in. Decline that. That's a copy spell trigger. See, this is a shame. This looks like quite a fun match that would be usually quite a good one to play. So they're just going to thought erasure me now to see what I've got in my hand. In fact, no, let's just concede. Let's just concede. We're proving the point here. So now my rating will go down, the hidden one. My rank will lose the pip, and I'm now at the bottom of Platinum Tier 4. So if I lose again in some ranking systems, I would go back to gold, which would be terrible, because the more I lose, the more points I lose, the further down that pyramid I go. But all that happens in Magic Arena Ranked is that my opponents get easier. Now, if you've been around the matchmaking system for a while, you will know that easier opponents means that you can just romp up to Mythic. Essentially, what I did the first time, because I was off sick, I was just sitting in bed, I was just play, concede, play, concede, play, concede, with one of the, what do they used to call them? The Planeswalker decks, the old style Planeswalker decks. So I wanted to get to the position where I could legitimately win enough matches to rank up with this Oko Planeswalker deck. And I got there. And much to my surprise, because I didn't think this would work, I was able to get to Mythic with an intro deck. So that was quite funny. But I realised that made Magic stop being fun. If then I switched to one of my better tier decks like this is a fun deck, but it's also competitive. What actually happened was the matches were no fun. But I won 15 matches in a row to basically go straight up to Mythic. And then once I got to Mythic, I could just keep playing at that same level and getting the 50-50, which is all you need really to get there. I think you need to win. I think you just need to be slightly better than 50-50 to get to Mythic, because Diamond, you have to have a winning match ratio to get up. So if you're at 51%, it'll take you ages. But every time you lose, your mating goes down by more than it goes up when you win. So your matches tend to get gradually easier. I have noticed a ceiling to that, because there's a lot of people with really tanked ratings with really pro decks. It was a funny aside that I think some people have tanked their ratings too much, and they're all just playing each other at the bottom thinking they're clever. But that isn't a good system. So this person's stuck on lands. They're clearly annoyed by something, so we're just going to concede because we don't care. What are we losing? We're losing nothing. Our amount of pips go down. They don't go down. We don't go to gold. We're still on platinum. Our hidden match ranking goes down. Now our path to Mythic will be easier. But once I did this the original time and realised that actually I'd rather just sit in the fun deck tier, so now I don't have to play certain decks, I don't have to craft, I don't have to do anything I don't want, even though we have 1 or 2 wild cards and 1,000% in the vault, and some gems left still, but that's just because I haven't been drafting. This means that you can get to Mythic whenever you've got time to get to Mythic. You slightly tank your ranking just to start it off, and then you coast. And if you want to get to Mythic with easy fun decks, and you don't mind having to play a little bit more skillfully with the bad cards that you're choosing to play, same as I do, then you can get there. But I hope this has been vaguely useful for 1 or 2 people. I know people have had chats with me in the comments and on Twitter about this, so now I've got a video to point people at that isn't perfect, but it kind of demonstrates the theory behind it all. There are some websites I can point you at to the people who made all the evidence and proved it in the first place, which was invaluable to me, because now if I want the promos, I just go, oh, I'll tank my rating slightly. But how I do it is not by conceding 50 matches in a row like I did to test it at the start. I just play a worse deck. And then eventually that worse deck gets to people who are lined up with it. And then we've got 50-50 and we're both playing worse decks and we're having a good time. But then, if you get to the end of the season and you're like, oh, I need 5 wins and there's only 1 day left, you just switch to your tier alchemy deck or whatever it is, and you win those last few matches relatively easily, and then you just get on with your day. Because we're all grown-ups with stuff to do. Right, anyway, if you've enjoyed this, give it a like, a subscribe, tell me how wrong I am in the comments if you want, and yeah, we'll see you again soon. Bye.